Good evening. I am a special education teacher for Knox County Schools. First and foremost, thank you for letting me speak tonight. I would also like to state that I stand behind Dr. McIntyre's belief that all students can learn to the best of their own abilities. I am speaking for two reasons tonight. We have been encouraged to share personal testimonies about students in our past and present careers. Secondly, I believe it is my responsibility to be an advocate for my students and for so many others who would otherwise never have a voice. My very first student was a hands-on learning lesson that most educators never experience. My brother Matthew, who turned 33 on September 5th, suffered a stroke in the womb and was diagnosed with a mild left hemiplegia, a form of cerebral palsy. Later on in life, diagnostic tests showed that his IQ was approximately 58, and he was diagnosed then as being mentally retarded, which we now refer to as intellectually disabled. If that wasn't overwhelming enough, he began displaying behaviors that were often harmful to himself and others. He was given a third diagnosis of intermittent explosive disorder. Doctors and specialists said that Matthew was, as they put it, a lost cause and would never amount to much, that it would be best to institutionalize him and check on him from time to time. I might also add that he's also adopted. Instead, our parents became his voice. My brother was the first child in the history of Benton County Public Schools to attend a special ed preschool program at the age of 3. Through many years of trials and tribulations, patience, hope, and love, Matthew grew into a phenomenal young man who graduated with a high school diploma and not a certificate of attendance. Today, he resides in Paris, Tennessee, where he is almost fully independent and gainfully employed by John Deere Tractor Supply. There are many other achievements that Matthew has accomplished, but there is not enough time allocated for me to list them. Matthew is happy and a true atonement of success. I can say with conviction that none of his successes have ever been measured by a standardized test. With that being said, so many of Knox County students, including my own, believe that their one key to happiness and success in this life resides in either letters A, B, C, or D. As a special education teacher, I am aware of the many legal changes that occur on a day-to-day basis, including the removal of certain accommodations used for TCAT testing in the upcoming park. I asked some of my students how they would feel if tests were no longer allowed to be read aloud to them. Some of the adjectives they used to describe how they would feel included the following: lost, scared, dumb, nervous, and last but not least, a failure. One child openly wept and said that she wanted to do well but was afraid of taking a test which in fact is not and will not be on her grade level and would not be read aloud to her, would make her feel dumber than she already was. I ask you tonight, is this truly what we want for children? Do we want to judge the success of a child based on one day and one test? I encourage you to think about the many things we as teachers do teach our children that cannot be measured by the penciling of a bubble sheet. Kindness, a giving heart, respect, and standing up for what is right, even if you're the only one standing. In conclusion, I leave you with these thoughts. Success is not and should not be limited to one definition. Think of all the amazing people who failed over and over again, the Thomas Edisons, the Michael Jordans, the Abraham Lincolns, who stood up and looked adversity in the face and said, "I will try again, I won't give up." Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists to have ever lived, once quoted, "If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend the rest of its life believing it is done." Thank you.